How's it going, guys? It's been a while that I've been working on this project car. I've just been busy doing other stuff on the side. But I think my last video was me doing my brother's car, fixing the rust and painting it. But today we're gonna be working on this. Pretty much I gotta clean the inside of the car just cause it has a bunch of junk, tools all around. So I need to go in there and clean it up and organize it. I'll put some stuff away in the storage. After I do that, probably gonna start working on the rust that I had cut it out and start welding in a new panel in there. Let me show you which one I'm talking about. So you can see right here, there's a big square cutout. Yeah, right here. This was full of rust. I cut that out. Underneath the wheel well on the driver's side, I cut it out because there was a big rust area. So I had to go in here and make a new metal sheet and weld it in. So basically I already made this part right here that goes right here. I just got to do this part up here. Probably gonna do this in 2 sections, and then I also got to weld in a square piece that goes in here. Yeah, it's just a mess. I throw everything in here. You know, I work in the morning, I finish at when it gets dark, and you don't have time to, you know, put everything back where they belong. So I just pile it up in the car. So since I'm gonna be welding in here, I just want to clean it up, get it a little bit tidy. So I ended up just cleaning it up. There's some dirt and all that stuff in there, but I'm not gonna vacuum that right now. I just needed to take out all the trash, clean it up a bit, just because I didn't want stuff to catch on fire. And plus I need to weld over there in that corner, so I didn't want to be leaning on any tools and all that stuff. Kind of want to be comfortable when I started welding. Let's get started on welding in the panel. It's pretty much everything I'm gonna use. Grinded at least halfway of taking off this inner fender spraying or whatever they put under, like an undercoating. But the thing is, this is good metal right here. I did not want to cut more out of the good metal, so I'm trying to work around. But the glue that's inside here, like you can see here, you know, I had to grind this stuff off to bare metal, but this glue, it already gummed up the blade, the grip blade or whatever it's called, and it's just like splattering everywhere. So it's hard to get this area to bare metal. I still need to come in here and cut this off, but unless you have like a little Dremel with the blade on it, which I have a Dremel with the blade on it. Well, I had a blade on it, but then it cracked. You can see right here. It's no good, and I ran out of them, and I don't really want to go to the store. So I was gonna use this because the blade is pretty small that I could get in that area and cut it off. But instead, I'm gonna use this. It's a little bit bigger, but I figured that if I could get it in like this, and I could just cut it off right there. I just need to cut off half of it to make it smooth, and then I'll just sand it down by hand to get it to bare metal, and then just weld it all in. The inside it's that glue, you know, it's that glue that is hard to take off, because man, it splatters, it gums up the sandpaper, and it sands up the grits. Like you can see all these, like, man, they overdid it with this shit in the factory. It's all over the place. And I guess the way they invented it, they didn't think about when it rains or whatever, that the water needs to go drain out the car. So like on that corner over there where the AC sat, I repaired that, and water just sits in these little grooves on these Camaros and third gen, like the third gen Camaros and Firebird. So it just rusts away, and that's what happened to this one. Like water sat in here instead of like draining out to the side or something like that. It just sat right here, and it just completely made it into rust. So that's the little problems I'm running into. But like I said, once I do this, the fender, the firewall, and take care of that hole right there, then I'm already done. And then the rest is just sanding and just fixing that battery tray right there. I made the panel. I cut it out. I try to form it, and then some edges on when I put the panel, this new metal in, some of the areas were like the top part was in and then the low part was sticking out. So I just did some tack welds here, 3 here and 3 here, and then when I got the good tack welds where it was sturdy, I went ahead and I used the hammer. I went on the inside of the car and just started hammering it out and kind of got it flush. Sorta. There was like a gap here, there was a gap here, a pretty decent sized gap, and then you can see this right here. When I was grinding it, the grinder chipped off a piece, but I got a tool for that. This is like a copper, it has a copper plate right here, or bronze, whatever you want to call it. I think it's copper. I'm gonna put it behind the panel like this, but on the other side, and then since the welds don't stick to this copper, it's gonna fill it in. That's what I did here when there was a gap, and I put more heat into it, and I ran like a bead on through the side. I forgot to take off the inner wheel well coating, and it was catching fire. I didn't want to grind it, it was already welding, so I said just like screw it. So this piece is already done. I went ahead and I welded it all around, and then I'm just gonna start making this piece. I don't know if you can see what, but it's just pretty much where this finger and this finger is at, all the way up here to, it's like a little square. It's gonna come down to right here, finish it off right there. I'm gonna leave this triangle part open just in case water does come, it would flow outwards and not just literally sit when the panels here sit here and this one comes down and sits here. It's gonna form a V shape. If water does flow through, it's not just gonna sit there, it's gonna at least come out this way and drip out, so that way it doesn't rust all over again. So this is a new piece that I am gonna start welding in, but I just wanted to show you how it looks. So right here there's a gap. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, you can see it way better. All right, so right here there's a gap, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that copper thing, and I'm just gonna like weld a seam weld right there. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a little bit more sturdier than it was before, and you could tell I did a little piece right here on the new sheet metal, so that way I didn't have to keep welding a bigger string, like a longer bead. And I still got to go in here and fix it up. But what I'm thinking about doing is, see how it comes up a little bit? I'm just gonna put some tack welds on the flush part and then go ahead and just hammer it all around to get it straight and smooth. But that's pretty much how it's going. Finally finished the firewall welding. You know, my welds are like booger welds, but they are solid, you know. It's not gonna break off or anything like that. So, you know, some of the welds are pretty good. I had to fill in a gap, like I said, right here. I still got to go in here and do some touch-ups, but when you grind all this stuff out, it should be good. But yeah, check it out. It's pretty much solid all around. Some of the little imperfections, like little hoses, that's the body filler will cover that up. But yeah, see how I welded it through the seam right here, and then I welded it together. I didn't want to like leave a gap like this, so I welded it together to give it a little bit more solid structure. And just got to make this piece, like I said, and it's all done. It's already done, guys. I welded it pretty much all around. I welded it to this panel right here that I had welded in, and the panel that goes into the firewall, it's all completely welded. All right, that's pretty much the video for today. I'll be posting another video next week, but thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.